So it's 6:30 in the afternoon and I'm just leaving work, and I'm kind of eager to go test this thing out, give it a little bit of a break-in. Hopefully it's not too late and the sun doesn't come down, but there's still some sun over here, and I think what we should try to do is go and cook something up, maybe by the mountain, by Red Rock or something like that, and have dinner over there in the mountain. That way I can eat and test this thing out, maybe give it a little bit of a break-in. That's the goal for today. Before I had the utility boxes on the side of my service truck, I used to buy these Husky boxes, which were nice because they have wheels, so you could take your tools out of the truck and into the job site without having to make too many trips. So I had one of these left over at the house from my old truck, and I was cleaning out the garage and I saw it, and I figured that this would be a pretty good box for the rear of the Jeep instead of building the that wooden box that I wanted to build initially. I took some measurements real quick right here, and it looks like it fits perfectly between the seat bracket and the tailgate of the Jeep, so I don't think I have to modify anything. So I think we'll start with that. We'll just put this box in the back of the Jeep, and for now that should be fine. We'll clean it up a little bit too because it looks pretty nasty. I picked up some 5/16 bolts and nuts from Lowe's, and the set of locks to put on there to lock the stuff. And from what I measured, it clears the seat brackets to the tailgate, and then it gives you kind of you have a little bit of space between the seat and the box, which is really nice for when you're traveling and you have stuff in your hand that you just gotta, tuck behind the seats, like the tripod and stuff like that, stuff that's awkward and that you have to kind of take with you. You can just tuck it in there and it's fine. Maybe even the tent or some bigger things. So we'll start with that. Let's go ahead and we'll mount this box there and see how it looks. That's a little flimsy, but I think it's fine. There we go. Okay. Give it just a little bit of a cleaning here, so it doesn't look so bad because it was sitting on the sun and it looked a little dry. We're using the same PB blaster that we had for the rings. I think it's the only solvent that I have, or the only cleaner I have here at the shop. That's what we're using. I'm putting these master locks on it, and yeah, I know they could break into this. It's not, it's very easy to break into this actually, but it's a theft deterrent. Hopefully there's something easier to break into if they do decide to break into something and not steal what's mine. But whoever wants to steal something, they'll do it anyway. So it just looks like a theft deterrent, kind of. All right. One thing that I need to figure out too before I start traveling more is the mounting of the camera situation here. I took the mount off of my motorcycle and I put it on the grab handle for the passenger, but it's too low and the phone sits right below the windshield, so it reads, or it looks at the dashboard instead of looking out of the windshield. So I need to do some sort of other mount so that I can mount the camera kind of facing, this sort of angle right here. I think that's a good angle so you kind of see everything. So that'll be a project for next time too, or before we go to our first destination. But I think it's ready to go for today. I'm going to load up some supplies in the back of this thing, and we'll go give it a little highway run. I think we're going to go to Lowell Canyon today, which is heading towards Pahrump from Las Vegas. It's a decent stretch of road. It's got some hills on it, so it'll get a good workout. And I will try not to go too hard on it up the hills because the rings are just breaking in. They don't have a lot of miles on them. They have, I think, they're at around 100 miles. So I probably am going to add some 2-stroke oil to the fuel so that the rings break in a little easier. And maybe we'll cook in the mountain today, and that'll be our first little day trip to test this thing out. We'll see what happens. All right, I'm going to be putting this thing on the highway. See how it runs. That wasn't for me, I promise. All right, here we go. It's very hot today. I think it's 112 or so. That's third gear. 40 miles an hour. 45 miles an hour. That's 50 miles an hour. Doing good. All right, so we're on the highway now. Doing 55 to 60 miles an hour. I'm not going too heavy on it because it still is breaking in. And everything is looking good. The temperature is looking good. It's running just above 180 degrees. It's maintaining. Doing great. it very, very well on the highway. We're about to have a very, very nice sunset here very shortly. Hopefully we can get that. The speedometer on this thing is not very accurate. It's somewhere between 50 to 60 miles an hour you're doing. You know, you're somewhere over there. You're not very precise. But it works. This is the end of the Scenic loop that goes through Red Rock. It's only a one-way road, so you have to go in through the visitor center, and it goes all the way around, and then you come out of here. If you go left, you go to Las Vegas. If you go right, you still go to Las Vegas, but you go to the Highway 160 junction, which is the route between Las Vegas and Pahrump. The next town is going to be a town called Blue Diamond. That's the town of Blue Diamond right there. It's really beautiful. It's small, but it's a very, very nice town. There's a little park, some donkeys always there. It's pretty. Now this is Highway 160, which is the highway that connects Las Vegas to Pahrump. And I don't think because of daylight, we're not going to be able to make it all the way to Lowell Canyon. So there is a road I remember that, I think it's called Cottonwood Pass Road or something like that. There were some cool places over there that we could cook our dinner for tonight. So let's go over there. It's just a little bit closer. So far, after being on the highway for, I don't know, 30 to 40 minutes, there hasn't been any issues. It runs extremely well. It's not very fast, but it drives really well. The only thing that I have to complain about, which is not really a complaint, is I think it's just kind of a design flaw, is that on the brake pedal, as the pedals go inward into the body itself, there's a hole, and that hole goes through the firewall, and there is 3 million degree heat coming through there, and it's cooking my toe inside of my boot. But that's not really a bad thing. It's good for the winter. It's just hot in Vegas today. That's all it is. Other than that, it runs perfect. Not one problem so far. So hopefully it stays that way. I don't want to punish it too much because it's breaking in, but I am planted all the way down to the floor right now. And I also don't want to go, too slow because I have a big Freightliner behind me and it's kind of sketchy. But we are doing 50, wide open, up this nice hill. This is a pretty big hill now, so I am full throttle doing 40. But still climbing, no issues. This is the Cottonwood, that's what it was called. It was called the Cottonwood Valley Road. And it goes in quite a bit. I think it goes to the town of, I think it is called Cottonwood. There's a bar over there. It's like a pretty famous bar. Let's find a spot to cook. Four-wheel leaf springs are very, very rough. They're simple and reliable, but they ride hard. All right, we got to our little spot over here. It's a nice little view. The sun is almost all the way down. It's beautiful right now. The sunset is gorgeous. And the temperature is cooler over here because we're a little bit higher. So before we lose too much daylight, I'm going to get the camping light, the Coleman lamp set up. It's an old gasoline one from the 60s also. And I'll get my gasoline Coleman stove set up so we can cook our steak and eat, because I have not eaten all day long and I'm hungry. This thing is cool. It was from a yard. Actually, you know, it was not even from a yard sale. It was from some guy that was walking down the street one day like 10 years ago. And he's like, if you give me $5, I'll sell you this. So I don't know where it came from, but hopefully somewhere legitimate. But it's pretty beat up. You have to pump this thing up like, I don't know, 20, 30 times or so. And you got to keep your finger on the little bleed hole. Something like, I think, oh, I'm going to flood it. And it's going to be an explosive right now. Oops. Yeah, that's going to catch fire 1000%. So let's do it right on top of the hood, of course. All right, take that off. I'll probably take the glove off too, just in case. Okay, let's see. There we are. Hopefully that boils off. You're supposed to use that Coleman white fuel with these things, and I am. That's what I'm using right now. But I've run unleaded on it before, and it runs just fine. It just, the problem with unleaded is that it has alcohol on it, and if you leave it sitting for a while, the alcohol turns into a gel, and then it doesn't, you know, it clogs everything up. So the Coleman fuel in this case is good. There we go. That's perfect. Put that right over here. Nice thing about this is that it's like a table, so you can lay things on over here and cook and all good things. The Coleman stove is similar. It has a fuel valve and it has a little needle up here. You're supposed to pump it up, I think, also 20 to 30 times. So you open it, you put your finger on the hole and you pump it. Close that thing up, and then it slides in here. Go. Kind of like that. You want to make sure you don't scratch your paint, you know. That's why the rattle can finish is nice. And then, let's see, this goes up. Open the fuel on it. You'll hear it when it kind of changes tones when fuel actually starts passing by. There we are. Now that has to stay like that for, I think it's 1 minute, and then the lever goes down and that kind of leans it out a little bit. Makes it burn cleaner. Let's get the pan and start cooking. All right. Little bit of oil. that warmed up. Get our steak out of here. Salt and pepper. That's the steak. I just pulled it out of the bag and put it in a Ziploc because I didn't have a lot of room. But give it a nice salt, little pepper. Putting down the oil. Oh, that's beautiful. Do the other side. Okay. Turn this down just a little because it's a little hot. There we go. That way it cooks a little slow. Let me show you. Look at that. That is perfect. There is not a 5-star restaurant that has this setting. Let's get this thing cooked up. Still some light outside, but it's getting darker. Let's turn this thing over. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Look at that. Beautiful. We'll get one of these too. I think it's done. Pull this thing out. Oh yeah, it's super tender. Look at that. That's nice. Well, that wraps it up for today. I'm gonna have my dinner. I'm gonna eat real good, and then I'm gonna clean up and head home. And I figured that on the next video, I think we're ready to start traveling. I think what we're gonna do is go down to Bombay Beach in Southern California, right in the border of Mexico. And I think that's gonna be a good starting point for the trip. We'll go all the way south, and then we'll start traveling north until we hit the Pacific Coast Highway, and can just continue up north and start from there. So thank you guys for watching, and see you guys soon.